In 7 years' time, since Cardano launched, we went from nothing to an 11-figure network with millions of people and the largest research group in the world and the passion of the young people. And in another decade's time, we'll be larger than Ethereum. And in another decade's time, we'll be larger than Bitcoin. And in another decade's time, the majority of governments in the world will run on our infrastructure because they trust it.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. And they finally start to cut rates. And we know Japan is going to start raising rates. And those trillions of dollars that are sitting in money market accounts are going to start flowing over to the emerging markets. And we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction so they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back slightly. Guys, we know we're the only game in town on the weekend. When we look at CME, we have open interest. It's still high, but this week, guys, we know it's going to be a roller coaster ride because we have futures contracts ending. So that means we're going to be pulling back this week. So get yourselves in position. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Now make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates on Friday, which were down. We have the dollar on Friday, which is down. We have volume in crypto right now is down. And we have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo yesterday was at $259 billion. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis during the week. Now we have the U.S. national debt surges $500 billion in just 3 weeks, hitting $35.7 trillion. And guys, we know if you're printing money off the printing press, debt is not real. But to the sheep, that's the reason why I talk about it. Debt is real because majority of them don't understand the system. But those who are conscious know that that debt clock means nothing when you're printing the money. Now in 2025, we know the government is going to set out a plan in order to cut this deficit. And they're going to sell the people that they need to cut this debt. And of course, that's going to cut a lot of jobs. And that allows them to bring in the robots, algorithms, and drones. They create the problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. And it works every time. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Now we have Feds. Waller says DeFi can complement centralized financial systems. And guys, like I've been telling you from the beginning, DeFi is definitely the new banking. This whole financial system on blockchain being ran by an algorithm without a human involved. And we're going to get into that later. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Now we have Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs, Blackrock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs were up. Now we have Morgan Stanley discloses over $272 million invested in Bitcoin ETFs. And don't forget, Morgan Stanley invested in MicroStrategy as it was buying up Bitcoin. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Now getting over into a little crypto news. We have the New York Stock Exchange and CBOE win SEC approval for Bitcoin ETF options. And these options are going to bring a whole lot of volatility. And the main reason why is that we know that the Fed has to get rid of these small and medium-sized banks. And we also have thousands and thousands of cryptos. And of course, they're going to use crypto as an scapegoat of why the banking system went down. And the sheep are going to fall for it. And at the same time, the utility cryptos, the NWO cryptos will rise like the phoenix. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, we've seen this movie before, especially when you're old like me. We've seen plenty of stock crashes, and every time they crash, NWO stocks just keep getting bigger and bigger. And that's the reason why we have trillion-dollar companies on the market right now. And that's the reason why Blackrock and Vanguard own everything. And it's all from Aladdin. And lastly, speaking of BlackRock and Aladdin, we have BlackRock wants Deribit, Binance, and OKEx to use its BUILD token as collateral for derivatives trading. And the news today, if you notice, is all about the big banks in crypto. And don't forget, guys, crypto was supposed to get rid of the big banks. That was the whole point of the 2008 crash. It's time for a replacement. And again, the sheep are going to fall for it. But the big banks and big corporations were behind crypto from the beginning. The only thing you have to do is look at the funding rounds, follow the money. And then also, guys, we know the Bankman was working on this the whole time. And now they just want to implement it, of course, with BlackRock. This $100 trillion derivatives market on blockchain ran by an algorithm without a human involved. And this is just the beginning. Remember, guys, this is a plan. It moves in phases. First, you have BlackRock coming in with derivatives and crypto, and of course, they take that over and then move it through the rest of the markets. So therefore, you own nothing, but you will be happy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.